Hi, this is Anton from the Terra team. In this video, we're going to show you how to get set up using the Terra Data Repository by describing how to authenticate yourself in the repository's API interface and how to set up your billing profile. Many of the Terra Data Repository's capabilities are currently only available through the Swagger API user interface. In order to use any of the API commands, you'll need to understand two preliminary steps. First, you will need to authenticate your credentials at the top of the Swagger API page. You will need to do this every time you open the page in a new tab or window, and sometimes if the page has been idle for a while. The first thing to do when you're troubleshooting, especially if you're seeing a 401 error, is to check if you're still authenticated by clicking the Authorize button to see if you're already logged in, or even just refreshing the page and reauthorizing your credentials to be extra sure. To do this, click on Authorize near the top of the page. In the pop-up window, check off all of the boxes and click Authorize again. This will open a new tab where you can choose your credentials. Just use the email address associated with your Terra account. Once you submit, the tab will automatically close and you'll see a new pop-up window with the options to log out or close. Make sure not to click log out so that you stay authenticated. Do this by either clicking close or by clicking the X button at the top of the pop-up. Now that you're authenticated, you can run the API commands below. If you click on the categories, you'll see a collapsible list of commands. Note that you can't actually modify any of the parameters or execute the commands until you click Try It Out at the right of the endpoint. If you're authenticated, you'll be able to click Try It Out and activate the API endpoint. You are now ready to submit your first API command. The first one you'll need to do if you're new to using the TDR through the API user interface is create profile, which generates a spend profile connected to your Google billing profile. For this to work, you'll first need to grant the Data Repo's service account access to your billing project. Go to the GCP billing page for your Google billing project and add this email address, which is the Data Repo's service account email address, with the role of a billing account user. After you click Try It Out, next to the API endpoint, the request body for that endpoint becomes an editable field, and you can change the text inside of this field. Not all of these parameters are always necessary. For this API command, here's a description of some of the key parameters. The biller field should generally be set to direct. The billing account field should be set to the Google Billing Account ID that you can find on your GCP billing page. Assuming you're working with GCP, the cloud platform should be set to GCP. Finally, wherever you see the word string, such as the description parameter, you can put whatever arbitrary set of characters you like to help you keep track of things. The profile name may be useful if you're using multiple billing accounts, as having a clearly named billing profile saves you trouble when trying to keep track of which billing profiles should be used for which datasets. As a best practice, you should always use the same billing account for working with a given dataset. Once you've filled out the parameters to your satisfaction, in this case the only one you should need to modify is the billing account ID, which you set equal to the Google Billing Account ID from your GCP billing page, and then click Execute. If all goes well, you should get a 200 or 202 response down here. You will need the profile ID that's generated. You can list the billing profile IDs for all of the billing profiles associated with your email by using the Enumerate Profile API endpoint found here in the Profiles category. Once you have a billing profile ID, you can follow the rest of the steps in this playlist. Thank you for listening.